Teacher's Pet is a strange episode. It is a victim of the Season 1 Monster of the Week problem, has some weird inconsistencies, and a very stiff action piece set for killing the bug. However, the humour is really on show, and getting to see Buffy start to take on the leadership role is fun to watch. Dr. Gregory versus Giles. How can a character that is on screen for less than 3 minutes have such an impact? I know the rest of the episode is about solving his murder, but his interactions with Buffy have us really liking the guy. He doesn't talk down to her, he encourages her to try harder in a healthy way, and shows absolute faith in her ability to rise above her circumstances, as in,
"And please don't listen to the principal or anyone else's negative opinion about you. Let's make them eat that permanent record."
He is the first really supportive adult Buffy has dealt with in the show so far. I know what you're all saying in the comments, but Giles isn't that supportive yet. Giles is there to train and guide Buffy, but at this point in the series he is too stiff and, for lack of a better word, British about it. He talks down to her, pointing out all the things she's getting wrong. If she doesn't do what Giles says, and in his way, then he feels compelled to call her on it.
You went hunting last night?
Yes.
When you assured me you wouldn't.
Yes, I lied. I'm a bad person. Let's move on.
Although Buffy trusts Giles and tells him what he needs to know to do his job effectively, we get the feeling that the life or death nature of the Slayer makes Giles too stiff to really connect with Buffy. He may be holding himself back from connecting due to the deadly nature of being the Slayer and him not wanting to get attached. Dr. Gregory, however, points out just how amazing Buffy could be. Yes, he points out about her incomplete homework, but it's after saying,
"You have a first-rate mind and you can think on your feet. Imagine what you could accomplish if you actually did
the homework thing."
The homework thing.
He is a teacher that is trying to inspire a student that he sees has great potential and knows with the right guidance can be amazing and rise up from her past. This boosts Buffy's confidence, and because of this, she's able to act on what he has said, as we'll see later in the video. Willow's wit. We haven't spent a lot of time with Willow yet, but man does she have some great witty commentary. This is the Buffyverse, and wit and humour are to be expected from every character, but the dry-cutting nature of Willow so far is kind of underrated. The best part is that she's not always aware of how her straightforward, no-nonsense comments are taken by the people around her. This is seen with Buffy's look after she says,
"He's one of the only teachers that doesn't think Buffy's a felon."
Sometimes it's just commentary, like responding to Xander asking where Dr. Gregory's head is.
Good point. I didn't want to hear that.
Other times, she will be talking and realise halfway through that she's putting her foot in it and tries to correct herself. This happens at the end of the episode when she's highlighting that the she-bug only goes after virgins.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's really sweet. But certainly nothing I'll ever bring up again.
Xander's masculinity. Xander has an interesting relationship with masculinity and what it means to him. Early on in the show, he is driven towards what we would call toxic masculinity. He is trying to brag about his conquests and show off how manly he is. He gets jealous very easily, and this makes him lash out and be particularly harsh to those around him. In this episode, we see the jealousy he has towards Angel. He gets all worked up when Angel shows up and says,
"Well, he's buff. She never said anything about him being buff.
You think he's buff?
He's a very attractive man. How come that never came up?"
He then doubles down on the jealousy when he lashes out at Buffy.
What kind of a girly name is Angel, anyway?
What does it have to do?
Nothing. It just kind of bugs me.
When all she was trying to do was warn him away from Miss French. You know, the giant bug that wants to eat his head. The force with which he confronts Buffy in this scene might speak to a plot point that never came to pass. The creator of the show has said at one point that Xander was going to be gay instead of Willow.
And I think I'm kind of gay.
With this in mind, you can see the groundwork for it here. The need to point out that, hey, a hot woman likes me, feels very over the top. Yes, it could be a teenage boy thing.
It's devastating. He He's turned into a 16-year-old boy. Of course, you'll have to kill him.
But you could also read it as him having to posture and point it out as a way to hide what he's really feeling. We know that, at least during the show, that Xander doesn't become gay, but it is a fun idea to explore. All of this posturing drops away in the face of danger though, and the authentic Xander shows up. The one that...
I laugh in the face of danger, then I hide until it goes away.
The one that does fight as best that he can against the overwhelming odds. The one that is not too proud to know that he needed help and to say thank you.
I'm an idiot, and God bless you. And thank you guys too.
This glimpse into the real Xander is what makes putting up with all the posturing bearable, because we know that he's a good person, just trying to find his way. Detective Buffy. It's been a while since I watched this show in its entirety, and I had forgotten that even this early on, Buffy is taking charge and figuring things out. Yes, the people around her find a lot of the answers, but she is often the one putting them all together, and then ordering the troops for the fight. We see these detective skills at work here. She first notices the glasses on the floor that many of the other students have just walked past. When they find the headless body of Dr. Gregory, she has enough wits about her to notice that he didn't change his clothes and that there were bite marks around his neck. The sadness that she feels from his loss doesn't stop her from trying to hunt down the Fort Guy lead the cryptic guy mentioned.
I think there are too many guys in your life.
She then uses her
First-rate mind
and does the research to find out what type of bug Miss French is. When their hunt leaves them to a 90-year-old woman that is not the Miss French they're looking for, Buffy thinks on her feet.
You can think on your feet.
And figures out a way to find the bug Miss French, and killing Fort Guy in the process. Buffy's completed homework gives her the edge in the fight, as she came prepared with the bat sonar to paralyze the bug. She may still have a long way to go before she's at her best, but we see here what she's capable of when she does
The homework thing.
The homework thing.
Teacher's Pet is a strange episode that leaves us on a cliffhanger that never comes up again, thankfully. It's a watchable episode, and we get to know our characters more, but the plot feels thin and inconsistent. Like, what was Miss French doing at the science room to begin with? Why did she attack Dr. Gregory at the school? And why put the body in the fridge? On the flip side, the clever writing and comedy are on show here.
She used Miss French's records to get into the school. She could be anywhere.
No, dear. I'm right here.
So it makes it fun to watch. Just don't think too hard. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future Buffy analysis. And as always, thanks for watching, and let's see what other secrets we can uncover next time on Nerdy Investigations.